Hi guys, so as you can see, I've got my little Ace shirt on. I am gonna talk later on today, probably once I get out of work, about some various topics that I have been on my mind. And I don't really believe in the whole Pride Month thing, but as it is this month, I feel like when else should I make this video? So I'm going to talk about why I left the Facebook group for AVEN, which is the AVEN group, and that's in regards to asexuality, visibility, and something network. I forget what the E stands for. Anyway, I'll look it up later. So for my main video, I'll make sure that I do it. Anyway, it's like asexuality awareness is basically what it's for. And so anyway, there is a Facebook group for that, and I was a part of it for a while. I had some issues when I was in there, and I'm not here to say that it was completely useless, but I will say that it's just not exactly as helpful as I was hoping it would be. It's not as inclusive as I was hoping it would be, and also it's too inclusive in some respects. So that's going to be what I'm going to get into later on today. I don't really have a lot of time before I have to go into work, but I did kind of want to make this video as a prelude to the other one. I'm probably going to be using some terminologies that not everybody's going to understand. So I did kind of want to get into that a little bit. So what asexuality is just a lack of sexual attraction to other people. So, like normally, for example, two people that I've heard are conventionally very sexually attractive would be Jason Momoa and Brad Pitt. So I can look at these gentlemen and I can say they're just guys. I mean, I guess I can tell that they're conventionally attractive. I guess I can see that much when I look at them, but I'm not like wanting them, or you know what I mean, like I'm not interested in getting to know them, or you know what I mean. They're just guys. So I've had people ask me some really weird questions before, and I'm not here to answer all of your questions, but if you're polite and everything, I can answer some of them. But I will say that I don't really consider asexuality to be the same thing as the whole LGBT umbrella, but it's not straight either. So to me, it's somewhere in between. Now, a lot of people want to group it in with the whole LGBT thing. And, I understand that because it's a non-straight identity, and because straight would mean that you're attracted to the opposite sex, that you want to have sex with them, that you want to have children with them, basically. And that's just not me. And it's through no fault of my own. I mean, I'm a conservative Christian, guys, but I just had never developed this feeling that apparently is very common and very normal. I'm not saying that I'm abnormal, because I do think there's a lot of people like me too, but a lot of people just have never heard of the concept, so they have trouble understanding why they don't feel any of that. And, it was up until my mid-30s until I realized that, hey, there's an actual word for this. Before then I was like, well, I'm just not really that interested in dating or getting married, and I would never wanted to just go jump into bed with some guy. I mean, I just never wanted to, and I didn't really understand why. And some people said, oh, you're just a late bloomer, or oh, you're gonna find the one day. And I didn't really know what to believe. And part of me thought, well, maybe one day, I'll see some guy that just magically makes me feel that way, but I never did. And then, right around my mid-30s, I ran into videos about asexuality, and I realized, hey, that applies to me. That's what I am. That's why I don't feel anything when it comes to that. And I've always had male friends, more than female friends, and I think I just tend to get along with them better when I try to make female friends. And I do have some female friends, and I'm grateful for them. I love them too. Nothing against female friends. It's just that most of the time when I've tried to relate to other females, it's been difficult because, especially women my age, I'm in my mid-40s. I just turned 46 not too long ago, and almost all the women my age are married. They have kids, and that's all they want to talk about. They just want to talk about, oh, my husband did this, and or oh, you wouldn't believe what my child did. They drank out of the toilet, and now I have to tell them not to drink out of the toilet. Well, maybe that's going a little far, but you know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff they talk about, and I'm just not, I don't have anything to relate to as far as that goes, because I don't have a husband, I don't have kids. And then they'll say, oh, Wendy, how many kids do you have? Or who's your husband? Or, and they'll just assume, like, they won't even question the fact that I have those things. They'll just, like, assume that I have them, and they'll ask about them, and I'm just like, well, I don't have those things. And they'll give me the craziest look, like, you don't? What? So it's tiresome, it's frustrating, and I don't want those things. It's not like I'm upset because of a lack of those things. I'm fairly content with my life and stuff, but it is frustrating trying to relate to other women when that's what they've made their life all about, and I just don't share the same experience. And I have things that I'm interested in that most other women are not interested in. For one thing, I really like animation. So, I might be watching, like, for example, my current thing is watching Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel, or I might be watching The Dragon Prince, or I might be watching, just various shows and some of them are for adults. And some of them are technically kids shows, but they're interesting enough and they've got enough of a story that they appeal to adults. Things like Owl House, or, stuff like that I have watched and really been entertained by, and things like that. And I'll try to talk about those kind of things, and they'll look at me like, why are you watching those? Like, even the things that are made for adults, like Helluva Boss or something, it's like they do not understand that not all cartoons are for kids, and they'll consider my interest to be childish or something. So it's frustrating. And then I've also always been interested in animals, science topics, things like that. So I might want to talk about, I don't know, let's just give an example, endogenous retroviruses. I might want to talk about that. Does any other woman want to talk about that? Does any other woman my age want to talk about that? No. So, and then I might want to talk about, I went to the Renaissance Festival last weekend, and I saw this and that and this, and they'll be like, that sounds kind of goofy, Wendy. I'll just be like, okay, whatever. And, one time someone asked me, well, what's your favorite drink? And I guess as a 40-something-year-old woman, it's supposed to be rosé or something, right? And I just said, well, I really like mead. And they're like, what's that? What's that? And I'll tell them, it's made out of honey, and it's really sweet, and I like it. And they'll be like, well, I've never heard of that before, So, like, I have very, very little in common with other women my age, and so it's very difficult for me to make friends with them. That said, there are a few good friends of mine that are females, and so I appreciate you guys, or ladies, if you prefer. But, like, most of my friends have been guys because I just seem to have more in common with them. But, and at the same time, I get frustrated because sometimes they don't understand that it's a platonic thing either, and they try to act like I'm somehow interested in them, or they try to assume that, oh, she's not really ace, and I've got a special magical penis, and I'll make her straight. So that then I ended up breaking up with some of them because, like, they just can't get the fact that I'm not interested in them in that way. All I want to do is have companionship and fellowship just like any other human being, but I don't want the romantic part or the sexual part. So it's been very difficult for me to make friends in general, which is why I joined Aven to begin with, because I thought, well, I'll go here, and all of these people are supposed to be asexual. They'll understand what I'm going through, and maybe I can even make some friends in here who aren't going to be all about sex and kids and all of that. So I will be making another video tonight, or this afternoon, or maybe tomorrow, but hopefully this afternoon. I will see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.